Discover your daily deal at the dating site for automobiles, StreetVW.com. Here's General Manager John Luciano.
You can save thousands on this showstopper, the revved-up Volkswagen Atlas Crossport, or get ultra-low monthly payments on all new and used vehicles, like on the Volkswagen Atlas. And remember, many Volkswagen vehicles are famous for outstanding fuel economy.
And meet the Volkswagen ID4. This affordable electric SUV is going to change everything. Hurry and discover your daily deal now at StreetVW.com. Street Volkswagen of Amarillo, 5000 South Soncy.
Welcome to the Automotive Architect Sales Podcast. My name is Ron Garverick. Thank you for joining me. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel at Ron Garverick, and also subscribe to all the podcasts. You can get it on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, Apple Podcasts. You can get it anywhere that you listen to your podcast. I would greatly appreciate it. Just go ahead and subscribe, like, leave a message if it's something that's inspirational to y'all. I'm in a dealership today. I'm a little bit changing up the atmosphere real quick due to the fact couldn't make it at home in time to interview this wonderful guest that I have coming on. He's been great to watch on Facebook. We actually went to an F&I Master Closer class in Atlanta, Georgia, that Shaka Dyson was teaching us in finance how to close deals in the finance department, which I believe this guest went multiple times. So he was, easy of making an opportunity to outshine the rest of us, him and Galen. But great guy. We're going to tell a lot of stories. About our experience there. We're going to talk about what he's been doing in the automotive space, what he's doing now, and having a great time. And I'm excited to have him on. Now, this podcast is exclusively sponsored by Dealer Elite, dealerelite.net, the most recognized automotive social network in the world. Sign up now and engage with the best and brightest in this industry. Also, Street Volkswagen of Amarillo is a proud sponsor of the Automotive Architect Sales Podcast. So if you're looking for an all-electric car, Volkswagen's got you covered. It is the all-new ID4. We're going to electrify America. Also a sponsor, Garv Automotive. For all your training courses, for everything from BDC, finance, sales, management training, go to garvautomotive.com. I appreciate everybody coming on tonight, listening to this great message that this guest is going to give us. And without further ado, I want to introduce you to the nicest guy in the car biz, Mr. Jordan Savage. Jordan Savage.
What's up, my friend?
How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
It's been a while since we caught up with each other and had this opportunity to talk.
Yeah, you've been trying to get me to come on the show forever, and it just never seems to work out. So I'm finally glad I was able to make it. Thanks for keeping after me on it. So. Well,
the good thing about it, I'm inspired by what you do and how you do it, and everything that you do. When I first started seeing that you were going to go to that last Master Closer class with Shaka, I was like, this guy's close to home. He knows our people in this area, Oklahoma and Texas. I'm in the Panhandle, so we know how our people, our customers act. So I was like, man, I got to touch base with him and become his friend. And you were nice enough to accept, and I've seen you change. When I started noticing you were doing finance, and then you went back to sales.
Yep.
And then now you're a sales manager at Jackie Cooper Nissan in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Is that correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this guy, if you don't follow him because his story, when you see on Facebook, is inspiring. This guy would have a digital billboard of being the top salesman multiple times at his dealership, and the leadership and his influence of what he did for his customers gave him an opportunity to become a sales manager. Is that correct?
Yeah. So, I started, in the automotive industry, started 5 years ago. So I haven't been in it that long, but, I had my background is I had a lawn and landscape company for 22 years, and I also pastored a church. So that's my background. Kind of got into the car business by accident. Actually was going to go work at my university I went to school at, and had applied. They said that they had a hiring freeze. They were going to bring me on. So I thought, well, I'll just wait until they bring me on. And my brother-in-law called me, and he was selling cars. He said, "You're the friendliest guy I've ever met. You should sell cars." And I remember looking at him and going, "Man, car guys do not have the best reputation." And with me being a pastor, that may be a conflict of interest. And he said, "Well, just give it a try." I told my wife what I was thinking about doing. She said, "I don't care if you do it, just don't tell any of our friends and family." And so I thought that I would try it for 3 months until that other job opened up. Well, in 3 months, I ended up making more money in 3 months than I would have made in my whole year of being at ORU. And so when ORU called and said they're ready for me, my wife said, "You should sell cars. You're pretty good at it." I said, "Yeah, I'm having fun too." So been doing it. Started with Buick GMC. Did that for the first 5 years of my career. Like you were saying, I went to finance. I was a finance manager. They went to a dealership called Ferguson, one of the largest Buick GMC dealerships in Oklahoma, one of the largest in the nation, actually. They gave me an opportunity in finance where I met you, Shaka's mastermind closer conference, and then we'll have to talk about the prickly pear later. But that story is, anyways. We'll leave you guys wanting more on that one. Then went back to sales. Ollie Rita's been a big mentor, Jonathan Dawson as well in my life. And Ollie said, "Man, you just need to market yourself better, create a brand." I'm friends with Sean Hayes as well. He's all about building your own brand. So I started doing that, and got to a point where I was selling so many cars, just off of Facebook. I was selling 15 to 20 cars a month just off of Facebook.
Wow.
I'm getting into, high numbers. And I got to where I didn't have to take, hardly took any ups, hardly took any phone pops, didn't take any internet leads. I was self-producing my own leads, and did that and was very successful at it. Jackie Cooper started trying to get me to come over, and they recruited me for about 9 months, and I kept saying, "Thank you guys, but no thank you." Like, "Well, we want you to come be a sales manager." I said, "Nah, man, I appreciate it, but I make more money than your sales managers make. And I like what I'm doing. It's easy. I'm basically at a 4-day work week, and they pursued me and pursued me and pursued me and pursued me. And my dream now that I have is to one day own a dealership. I started thinking about my future, and I thought, you know what? If I want to position myself best for my future, I need to take this and try it. I've never been a desk manager before, so I'm a new cars desk manager at Nissan, and been here since December. And man, we've just been rocking and rolling. We've been killing it. Had record months all along the way, as everybody else did in March. We've just been killing it. But my whole focus is trying to help those sales guys get to the level that I was so fortunate to get to at such a quick time, pace, and help them get to that level. Because at the end of the day, man, this is the greatest industry in the world. People if I had told people the kind of money that I've made over the years, they would be like, "What? That's more money than doctors make." You know what I'm talking about, Ron. But
you see it in the finance department. You're like, "Wow, I'm glad I didn't go to school because that doctor makes less than what I make."
Oh, exactly. And I've sold cars to doctors. I sold cars to lawyers. I've sold it to, business professionals. And when I get their income, I realize that I make more than they do, So I'm very humbled, very blessed to be in a position. But at the end of the day, I hate seeing salespeople starve. I hate seeing salespeople not make it. So it's been my passion to help those salespeople get to that next level. So that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been striving towards. I've got a great team. I've got 25 salespeople here that I get to pour in on a daily basis, have fun with. I teach them my social media Jedi ways, and we're starting to see some fruit from it. So it's rewarding.
So you were mentioning Mr. Ali Rada a while ago. Now you had a show called Jordan and Savage, right?
It was actually called the West and Savage.
Oh, West and Savage. That's right.
Yeah.
And
I did a West and Savage show. Yeah.
And there was a video that you did that you called West up pretending to be Ali Rada and had him so excited that the number one car salesman
Yeah, the GOAT was calling him, man. Tom Brady's
the GOAT was calling. And he was like, hey, listen, Ali Rada called me. And you played along with it, and then you shared it with Ollie, and he loved it.
Oh, dude, it was so funny. Like at that point, I had never met Ollie. Obviously, we all admired him from a distance, but I'd never met him, never talked to him before. But we were having some pretty decent success with our show, and so we were having some pretty big guests on the show and whatnot. And so it was kind of a goal. Let's see if we can ever get Ali Rada on the show, or Frank Cornetti, or Jonathan Dawson, or we'd had Scott Simons and some other people like that. Sean Hayes had been on the show at the time. So it's guys we were trying to get to come, and so one day I just was a little bored at work and decided to play a prank on him. I like to play pranks, those are people that know me. And so I set this thing up, and actually the video went viral. But Ollie saw it. That night he calls me, and I answer my phone. I'm like, no way. Sure enough, he calls me. I talk to him for an hour. We try to call Taylor. We get him on a three-way call to Taylor. Of course, he won't answer. So we leave him a voicemail, recorded everything. And then, man, the guy is such a humble and one of the most genuine, humble men that I've ever met. Spent an hour on the phone with me, encouraging me. I asked him some questions. Actually, was having issues with getting my GM money. And then he said, "Hey, send me your stuff, and I'll see what I can do." Dude, like 2 days later, bro, all the money was in my account.
Wow.
It's like amazing when you get the GOAT speaking on your behalf, man. Hook you up.
That's crazy. We had an opportunity. We had an opportunity here at our dealership when Damian Boudreaux came into town. He's the general manager. So we had an opportunity to talk to Ollie in one of our sales meetings. Damien called him right up and said, "Hey, would you mind talking to the folks here at Street Volkswagen?" He was like, "Absolutely." And, he gave words of wisdom and told people that, hey, just be in the people business, not the car business, and you'll go far. But if you start getting into the car business, then you're going to get confused.
Yep. It's about being in the people business, and that's what I tell people. Man, I'm not in the car business. I'm in the people business. I'm in the loving on people, helping people out. I genuinely care about my customers and making sure, that we treat them fairly, treat them right, have integrity with everything that we do. And I've surrounded myself with people like that. Shaka Dyson, Shaka. Shaka is he teaches that in F&I, how to be. The first thing when I was in F&I, we would turn our screen around and show the customer what was on our screen, so there was no, deceit. So I loved it. The full transparency. That's the new wave of the car business is full transparency, full honesty, integrity. And that's what's separating and the guys that are rising to the top and the guys that are still staying stagnant is that new way of thinking of stuff is like, what, at the end of the day, let's take care of our customers. The money will come when you take care of your customers. You don't have to rip everybody's heads off, but I promise you, if you take care of your customers, they feel you genuinely care for them, you're gonna be successful. And we've seen that here. I've seen that here at Jackie Cooper. Man, we're having a record month. In just what we're putting up gross wise, and it's because we take care of our customers. At the end of the day, people want to buy from people that they trust, and
Absolutely.
It's been a blessing. Yeah.
And you won some hardware this month, right? You had it delivered to us.
Man. We won the Nissan Award of Excellence. It's a very, very hard award to win. There's only 2 dealerships in the entire nation that have more awards than we do. It's basically like the Super Bowl trophy for Nissan. It's the highest award you can get, and we just won it for the 17th year in a row. The only reason it's been set 17 is because we haven't. We've only been around for 17 years, so we won it every single year. But back in February, we were, our Nissan ends in March is when their year ends. So back in February, man, we were faced with, hey, if we don't sell this amount of cars and get this amount of surveys back and get this score this high on our CSI, we're not going to get this award for the first time in 17 years. And so we really had to push ourselves and get with our guys and talk about it, of how big this award is. And boy, we pushed ourselves and had record month in March and hit our number in February and got to where we got it. So it was a blessing. We were number 8 in the nation in CPO units. There's 1,200 Nissan stores in the nation, so to be number 8 in the nation, that's huge. We're the largest volume Nissan dealership in our region, which is Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, Kansas. So we're very blessed. I'm at a great store, a great ownership group. Jackie Cooper has been around in Tulsa for 40 years. They're very synonymous with excellence. We've got a Porsche store, we've got a Mercedes-Benz store, we got an Infiniti store. We got some high-end stores, man. So, I'm at the Nissan store, but I'm one of those. I like to help everybody, and Nissan's one of those brands that I can help somebody that can afford a $15,000 car up to somebody who can afford an $80,000 car. So they've got a good gap of what they got to offer for every walk of life.
Well, good, man. Congratulations to you and the whole team, because that's a great accomplishment. And not very many dealers get to see stuff like that. But it sounds like that you and your team have a great rapport with the customers. Been there for 40 years, as you said. So that means that the culture is fine as going along, and you being an influencer as yourself, being able to talk to Jonathan Dawson, Sean Hayes, and Ali Rita, and Frank Pernitti, that helps you, because they give you great advice. They tell you what to do, not what to do, and what to say and how to say it and whatnot. So, you've been in their little Pinnacle Group masterminds, right?
Yeah. So I got the honor of getting an invite. And sorry, whenever you're talking, I'm getting a lot of static on my end. Just when you're talking, so I don't know what's going on. But we'll say that I was honored to get invited to the Pinnacle Mastermind back in September. They brought 30 of the top salespeople in the nation to Atlanta for 4 days to mastermind with each other, help each other be better, push each other. Man, I met some of the greatest guys in the world. These guys are my brothers. It made me realize that my ceiling wasn't high enough. I thought my ceiling at 40 cars was, 40, 45 cars was the limit. That was my ceiling. But man, I met guys that, obviously Ollie and Frank were there, and they do 100 plus cars a month. But I met guys that were doing 65 cars in a town of 2,000 people. One of my buddies, Clinton, another one of my friends, Jimmy, he sells 65 Acuras a month. He's at a Highline dealership. So, he sells 65 Acuras. I mean, I met, guys that were just killing it in it didn't matter. It was just about every single brand was represented. And these guys were just freaking rock stars. I mean, I being that I was, one of the top sales guys in Oklahoma for a long time, and then going to this, it was nice feeling small again, because I got to a point where I was feeling like the big guy. I'm the number one guy, and then I go to this mastermind with a bunch of guys that are way better than me, that like double and triple and quadruple my numbers. And I was the guy that was holding the average down. So at first I was like, how am I even here with these guys? I'm very humbled to get that opportunity, but it was life changing. I can't unsee what I saw, and it made me want to go after my dreams. And that's actually when I decided to go. I want to own, like I said, I want to own a dealership someday. So I started making plans towards doing that. I started raising my bar. I started raising my ceiling for myself. And anybody that hangs around me here at the dealership, they know that I don't settle for average. And it helps that my last name is Savage. I said, man, I'm Savage. I don't settle for average, man. I don't accept, some of these numbers that you guys have been putting up. I don't accept it. I had a sales guy a couple months ago who sold 22 cars, set a personal record for himself. First time I'd seen him do that since I've been here. The next month I said, what's goal this month? And he said 14. I about slapped him in the head. I was like, 14 cars? Are you serious, man? You just sold 22 cars and you want to take a step backwards? That doesn't even compute to me. You should be saying my goal is 25. I'm going to break the record that I just set. And that's just how I think. And I really, he came and the next month he only sold 12 cars. And I asked him about it. I said, well, why you only sold 12 cars? I go, because you gave yourself a 14 car, that's how many cars that you wanted to sell. So you sold about what you asked for. But I guarantee if you would have said 25 cars, you would have probably finished somewhere in the 20s. It's all about perspective. It's all about mindset.
It's all about the mindset. It's all how you think. I had a guy 2 months or 3 months ago telling me, you know what, I'm absolutely getting out of the car business. I can't sell over 20. I don't think that I got what it takes. And I said, you got to get out of your own way. Once you get out of your own way, it's going to be perfect. You're going to be fine. But if you keep saying, I can't sell over 12, this is not for me, you're telling the truth. But if you say, I'm going to sell 20 cars a month, and there's nothing going to stop me, you're going to do that. But it's all in your mind. Get out of your own way.
And people like to make excuses. That's the biggest thing that guys do in this industry. When they're not selling as many cars as they think they can and not making the money that they think they can, they start complaining. They start pointing fingers. The guys that are successful, they say, oh, he just gets all the cheese. And they start, they get in this, woe is me. Oh, I can't sell anything. They get this bad mindset. And, I always tell those guys, man, go look in the mirror. I promise you, you're just going to jump from dealership to dealership to dealership to dealership. You're going to get the same results at every single dealership. And at the end of the day, the only common denominator is you. Look in the mirror.
Yeah.
You're the reason why you're not successful.
The difference
when salespeople finally get that aha moment, realize that, it's like game changer.
But the problem is there's so many different people beside, that are different like you and I are, because we talk to the Shakas, we talk to the Corey Mosleys and the Jonathan Dawsons and the Ale Reyes and the Damian Boudreaux. And they don't take excuses. I mean, you call them up and say, I can't do this, I can't do that. They're like, stop. Yes, you can. Do it this way. And they won't settle for excuses, because there's plenty of time, I talk to Shaka and he's like, player, I don't want to hear it, champion. Do it this way. And I mean, they shut you off. They don't want to hear it. They don't even want you to explain it. They stop you.
I don't stand for any of that stuff.
No.
Champion, I don't want to. You have to own it. You have to own the reasons why. Yeah. So but it's surrounding yourself with those type of people that push you And I've called them up and shared when I've had records, when I've rocked it, and their first question to me is always, so what are you going to do next month to better that? How are you going to build from that? It's not good job. I don't. If you're wanting the pat on the back, and I've told my sales guys here, I said, if you want a cheerleader, I'm not your guy. I'm not the one going to go, yay, you sold 10 cars, way to go. I said, I'm not going to be your cheerleader. But if you want somebody that's going to push you and somebody's going to make you be better, I said, that's where I'm at. I want to make you be the best version of yourself for not just a dealership, but for your family, for you as an individual, for you as a salesperson. Because I promise you, when you're the best version of yourself, you're going to make more money than you can ever dream of. You're going to be able to take care of your family. I said, people say more money, more problems. I promise you, man, as long as I've been in the car business, been making the money I haven't had any financial
problems at all.
Time.
No. Exactly.
So, it's trying to make sure, how much am I going to pay for this, and how, but it's one of those things where, you have to push yourself. You have to daily push yourself. And I tell my guys, I say, guys, what time do I have to be here at work? I'll go, 8:30. I said, what time do I get here? Oh, I don't know. I said, man, I get here at 6:30, 7 o'clock every single day. Do I need to be here that early? No, but I get here early so I can study, so I can look through the logs, so I can look through the stuff, see what deals we maybe missed out on. Why? So I can be the best manager for you guys, so I can help you guys make the most money and help capture the most deals. I do that not for my benefit. I said, I've already made the money, man. I don't tell you how to sell cars. I don't help you give you advice on this stuff for me. I said, I've already done it. I've been there. I said, but, at the end of the day, I want you guys to be the best. And at the end of the day, if you guys are the best versions of yourself, man, it makes me feel good because I've done something and I've helped you achieve something. That's my goal. That's my passion. That's what I love to do. Because if we're all winning, man, it's fun. But when sometimes there's sales guys, you almost have to put them on your back and carry them and show them the way. And then it's like they get that aha moment. And they're like, oh, so that's how he does it. I tell people, man, I'm no more special than any of you guys. I just am passionate when I talk to my customers. I'm passionate about the cars. I get excited about it. If you get excited about the customers, excited about the vehicles you're selling, I said, excitement sells. It's funny because now I'll hear sales guys, great news. When I started in this business, a guy that's really I kind of mentored me when I first started, man. Anytime he would bring a pencil in, it didn't matter if it was high, low, whatever. He would always say, great news. You'd shout it across the showroom. And so I started doing that. I adopted that. Now I'm seeing my guys do that. When we get done with a test drive, I always say, do you love it? I said, why? Because if they say, a lot of people, yeah, I do love it. Then it's a car deal. But I said, they may tell you, no, I actually don't. Then you're not wasting time, trying to pencil them on a car they don't love. At the end of the day, they're only going to buy something that they love. So, those type of tidbits, man, I'm starting to hear that in my dealership, and man, I just get giddy when I hear my guys go, great news.
Absolutely, because if you show excitement, the customer shows excitement, and it just rubs off on them, and it helps them out a lot to understand that they're getting taken care of, and they got a really good deal. It was fair for you and the customer.
Say that again, Rob.
I said when you do that, it.
He has proven methods that really work. If you want to make more money, take these classes. He's intense, truthful, and he knows what he's doing. Check him out.
Ron Garvick, man, where to start with this guy? I've had the pleasure of working under him for the past 4 years. He's my manager up at Street Volkswagen, and it's just been an amazing experience. I came in as a green pea with no experience, and he's went over and taught me a lot of great stuff with the car business, whether it's negotiating, trade appraisals, walkarounds, you name it. He's went over it with me, and I'm super appreciative. He brings a ton to the table, a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experience. He's worked the desk. He's worked every position, BDC, sales, he's done everything in the dealership, so he has a wealth of knowledge, and having those credentials behind him really solidifies what he's saying. He knows his shit. He's good at what he does. He's had results. So definitely listen to Rod Garbrick, man. I'm very blessed to have him at the dealership and be able to learn from him directly. So tons of good stuff. Can't wait for y'all to check it out.
Hello guys, my name is Joel Marquez, and I highly recommend Ron Garbrick sales training because he's very passionate at what he does. Me and Ron have been working together for over 5 years, 2 different dealerships. I went from making $2,000 to $2,500 to pushing over $10,000 a month. Yes, I'm currently over $100,000 year to date in about 8.5 months. I highly recommend you guys take advantage of all his courses. He's great at what he does. Thank you guys. Have a blessed day.
I think we're done, yeah?
Yes, we are.
On our way to carbon neutral mobility for all with the all-new ID4, 100% SUV, 100% electric. Search Volkswagen ID4.
Welcome back to the Automotive Architect Sales Podcast. My name is Ron Garbrick. We had a little bit of a glitch with the connection between Jordan and myself, so he will be on soon. I just wanted to remind people that this episode, this whole podcast, is brought to you by Dealer Elite, the most recognized social media in the network in the world. Sign up now and engage in the best and brightest in our industry. Also, Street Volkswagen of Amarillo is one of our sponsors. Don't forget the new ID4 electric SUV. We're going to electrify America. And Garv Automotive. Go to garvautomotive.com. Get all your training classes from BDC, finance, sales, and management training. So what Jordan and I were talking about in the last segment was when it comes to getting the salesman to be enthused in when they're presenting numbers, when they go up and they say, "Woo, I got great news for you. This numbers and blah, 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 blah." And you go down through the line, going through the numbers. And then once they get out of finance, the desk manager says, "Was that a good deal? Did you have a great experience?" And the customer's like, "I had a wonderful experience." That's what you're trying to get out of the customer. You're trying to rub off the enthusiasm, the energy to give to the customer so they have that great experience. And that was what the conversation was between Jordan and myself. And I want to apologize for all the technical difficulties that we're having here in the show. We're having thunderstorms in and out of Amarillo and in Tulsa. So bear with me and we'll go from there. But Mr. Jordan is back on. How are you doing, my friend? Are you there?
Well, I'm here, man. Can you see me?
Yep, I can see you perfectly, man.
Awesome.
So you have great advice from all these these great leaders, trainers, and influencers, what is one piece of advice from all the ones, just you can pick one or two that, excuse me, that they have given you on being who you are today as a manager?
Man, for me, it's probably when I went to the Pinnacle Mastermind, Ali Rita said something that kind of changed my perspective, changed the way I operated. I didn't realize that I was such a negative person until I started looking at this. And he made a comment. He said, the thing that's made him so successful is it doesn't matter if he goes into a restaurant. It doesn't matter if he goes into the dealership. It doesn't matter if he goes out, out to get his car washed or to the gas station. He tries to be the most positive person in the room. And man, that hit me. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I realized that sometimes, especially in this business, sometimes you can get negative. And I realized that was something that I lacked. I didn't always have that positive attitude. A lot of times I put my head down and work and work and work and work. But I wasn't, and I could put it on, hey, do you love it? But then it was like I could be negative about something. God, man, I can't believe it took so long or whatever. I just have complaints about stuff because I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to the way I take care of my customers. But, I started realizing if I change my perspective, be the most positive person in the room, man, it really takes me to another level. And so I started doing that. I came back from the mastermind, started doing that. And, dude, it was game changer, man. I had people go, are you okay? What happened to you? And I'm like, I'm just trying to, be positive about stuff, and I apologize that I've been such a negative Nancy. That's not my intention. I didn't even realize that I was doing that. But, now I've done that. I've been trying to instill that with my salespeople here. Be the most positive person. I want you to not be positive with other people. They got like a crazy cat screaming at us now. I don't know what that is, but man, these thunderstorms we got coming through Oklahoma and Texas, boy, it gets you.
Raining cats and dogs.
I know, dude. I got all day. I'll still we closed it. We closed an hour and a half ago, but we had a late car deal and had to wrap it up. And, it's one of those things. Man, love what I do. Love helping my guys, my salespeople to be the best version of themselves, and seeing some of these guys get to levels they haven't got to before. And we were talking about the Pinnacle before. This last time, man, now that I'm a manager, I was invited again to go to the Pinnacle. And but this time, because I'm a manager, the prerequisite was I had to bring a salesperson that either averaged 25 cars a month or made over $100,000 a year. And, I was sad to say I didn't have a single salesperson at my dealership that is that. And I told Jonathan, I said, man, I would love to go, but I don't have any, rock stars yet. Yet is the key word. I said, I'm planning on building, 5 to 10 of them, but right now they're just not at that level yet. I hope next year I can bring, 1 or 2 of them. And they've gotten to that level. But right now I haven't gotten them to that level, but we're working on it. And then he ended up giving me a private invite right at the last minute. And unfortunately, I just had too much stuff with the new month coming on. I didn't get to go to this last Pinnacle, but I was so jealous. I was watching all the guys, all my friends hanging out and doing cool stuff, and their lives being changed. And I had severe FOMO the whole time. I was just missing out. I literally was like, I cannot look at Facebook for the whole week because I'm gonna be like depressed that I'm not with my guys. Those are my people, man. These high performers are my people. So anyway.
There's so many great people out there, trainers, influencers, and stuff like that. And they give great advice. They don't sit there and say, if you pay me X amount of dollars, I'll tell you how to sell 50 cars a month. And those two people that you mentioned, Jonathan Dawson and Ali Rita, one of a kind. They will give their shirt off their back to help somebody out because they are there to serve. They are there to help people get better and be successful. And the biggest reward from it is seeing somebody that they mentored get to where they want to be. So that's a great thing.
Yeah.
So let's get to May 5th, 2019, Atlanta, Georgia. So
Okay.
I'll set it up because when we go to this hotel, and at different times I show up and the lady goes, I need a credit card, and I go, for what? She goes, for your room. I said, that's what I gave you the credit card when I set up the room. And she goes, no, this was to pay for the room. That was just to reserve it. Well, I used my general manager's credit card, and I don't have his credit card on me. So I paid with my credit card. I'm mad because that's what I thought I paid for before.
Yeah.
So I go up to my room waiting for you to show up, and I guess the same thing happened to you, right?
Yeah, the same thing to me.
So both at separate times, we're giving the front desk lady an attitude, saying this is bullcrap, this this is ridiculous, yada yada yada. So we go to our rooms, and then Jordan calls me and says, "Hey, you hungry?" And I said, "Yeah, what are you hungry for?" And he goes, "Man, it's Cinco de Mayo. Let's go find a Mexican restaurant." I said, "Okay."
Cinco de Mayo, baby.
And so we go downstairs and we ask the young lady, "Hey, I know we just pissed you off, but hey, do you know any good Mexican restaurants?" And I'll let you take it away.
So she saw us, and she says, "Yeah, there's a perfect place for you guys. It's just like 5 blocks away. It's called the Prickly Pear." And so we're like, "Okay, cool." So it's my first time to meet Ron, and my buddy Galen that came with me. He's with me, and so we start walking, and we're talking about F&I, and talking about best practices and whatnot. And so we're the whole way to this restaurant. I'm following my phone, but we're talking. We finally find the restaurant. We walk right in, and I'm so focused in conversation with Ron and with Galen that I don't notice my surroundings. And sure enough, we sit down and we start talking some more, and we're probably there 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden I kind of, as Ron says something, I start looking around, and I realized that we are in a gay bar. And I start looking around, and Galen, he's one of those guys that he will say whatever's on his mind. And so he looks around, and at the same time he notices it, I notice it, he notices it, he goes, "Holy," and I go, don't say it. And of course the waiter comes up and he asks us if we want any margaritas, and he's in his chapless shorts, and he's doing this jigga polka dance, in front of us,
suggesting that we get margaritas.
Yeah, that's because we were margaritas. So of course, we're like, sure. And by the way, they did have a really good, their margaritas were fantastic. But we realized that we are the only straight guys in this whole joint. I start looking around going, please be somebody else no.
There was guys dressed up as women making out at the bar.
Oh my gosh. So anyways, we had no idea.
To be completely honest, the only tacos they had was we were eating.
Say it again?
I said the only tacos that was in that bar was the ones that we were eating.
Exactly. It was like, oh my gosh. It was like it was so I got no problems with gay people.
No.
But it was so that it was like flame and so like guys walking around just like in clothing that I would never ever wear out. I would never ever wear that, or leave the house in anything like that. But it just was so funny because Galen's like, oh my gosh, and so when I got back, of course I tell the story about it, and my deal was, yeah, and then me and Ron left, and we left Galen. Galen stayed there for another couple hours. I don't know what he was doing, which, of course, he told the same story to all the people that, yeah, and then Jordan stayed for another couple hours. But anyways, it was we ate our dinner, we survived, but yeah, we were the only, and we did not realize it until about 10 minutes after, and we started looking around, and I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my.
Yeah.
And then we're like, that lady, she got us good, man.
So we were very upset. We started heading back to the hotel. We were going to talk to her, and she was off, and we didn't see her for the whole time we were there.
No, never saw her.
So keep in mind, stay away from
we were laughing so hysterically on that walk back because we couldn't believe that we had, it's like, oh my gosh,
it was like an episode of Practical Jokes.
It was like I'd never been. I'm a sheltered boy. I'm from the Midwest. I pastored a church. My dad was a pastor growing up. I'm very sheltered. So I'd never been to a club or a bar, anything like that. So for me, I just was like, and the waiter kept like rubbing his hands up and down my arm, and every time he would come get an order or flirt with me, and then he would turn around and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I can see his butt cheeks. Oh my gosh. I felt like, am I being rude if I don't like flirt back a little bit? I mean, this is my first time. I'm not sure.
We were debating what kind of tip should we give, It was pretty crazy.
I didn't know.
And I will always remember that day because, gosh, man, I was so upset, and she got the last laugh over us. So.
I tell that story all the time, and dude.
You never noticed that I went and had a barbecue.
Cry. People that know me are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe. Dude, we didn't even pay attention when we walked in that bar. We did not even pay attention. And about 10 minutes after I got in there, I realized, and I was like, oh my gosh, where are we? And Galen goes, holy, no, don't say it, don't say it. I literally said, don't say it. Whatever you're about to say, do not say it. He's like, but don't say it.
They'll spit in our food or do something worse.
Man.
I went to a barbecue a couple of weeks later, and they were serving ultra light beer that said "Cook with hair" on it. I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!"
Hey, when the next mastermind class went down to Atlanta, I said, "Hey, you guys need to go check out the Prickly Pear."
Great restaurant.
Oh, it's fantastic. Their margaritas are to die for.
Oh yeah, you got to get the whole picture. Well, what's one piece of advice that you would give a newbie right now that's listening to this show to better set them up for success in the car business?
Okay, so I would say brand yourself, get on social media, let people know you sell cars. That's something that's uncomfortable for a lot of people, but that's something that took me from a nobody, being in this industry for I've only been selling cars for 5 years, but to be where I started to where I'm at now in 5 short years, to make the kind of money I've made, it was because of social media. I got on social media. It was uncomfortable at first, but I embraced it. And I didn't do car. I tell my guys all the time, don't just do a walk around about a car. People could care less about the stupid car that you're selling. At the end of the day, they're not buying the car, they're buying you. So you need to sell yourself. Why should they come in and buy a car from you? And so I would do posts that would get people thinking. I did a post one time where my title of my post was "Do not buy a car from me!" ! Why would a car guy say "Do not buy a car from me"? And then I still, hey guys, this is Jordan Savage at Ferguson. If you guys like to get the runaround, if you like to stand at a dealership for 7, 8, 9 hours, if you just love hanging out at a dealership, do not buy a car from me. I started giving all the nightmare scenarios that people deal with. If you like to jack and you not be able to leave the dealership and get to a point where you feel like you need to call the police to get your own car keys back, do not want the best car buying experience. If you want to be treated like a friend, if you want somebody that genuinely cares about you and wants to help you, come see me. Come see why people call me hashtag the nicest guy in the car biz. Man, that post alone went viral, man. I had a guy from California that ended up seeing it and said, dude, I've had so many nightmare scenarios that you just said. You are a guy that I would buy a car from. What do you sell? I said, that's a GMC's Buick. Cool, I could own a GMC. I'm going to fly in next Thursday and buy a car from you. I mean, It was amazing. So I got to a point where, it doesn't happen. And I tell guys, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not going to, you can't just do a post and think that it's going to happen. You have to, first of all, be consistent with it. You have to do it every single day, whether you feel like it or not. You need to do it at a certain time frame that people are always going to know that you're going to see it. Yes, people may get sick of seeing you on Facebook, but I promise you, 6 months, 9 months, a year down the line, when they have an accident and they need a car, they're going to remember your post because you're consistently on there. And I told people, man, after it took me about a year to where I got about, I would get about 5 customers a month off of Facebook. But then from that year to 2 year, when I really started pushing it and really started marketing myself, man, it went from, 10 to 12 a month to 15 a month. And I got to where I was selling 20, 25 a month just off of Facebook, just off of repeats and referrals. I would do contests where I would give away, free dinners at local restaurants. I would give away $100 cash. I would pay their car payment. I would do different things like that. And you know what? Most of that stuff was all donated. I didn't pay a dime for most of it. I would call local dealers, local restaurants, say, hey, you're one of my favorite restaurants in town. I've got, 5,000 followers. I want to promote you as a small business, as a local restaurant, and I want to give away a free dinner every single week this month. Call it the hashtag Eat for Free on me. I sell cars, so I'm going to give it away to all my customers that refer friends to me, that send somebody my way, that come and buy a car from me. Whatever, I'm going to put them in a drawing, I'm going to give this away. Well, those restaurants were like, oh, heck no, we will donate it. How much do you want? $50, $100? We'll donate one every single weekend. You just call us up, let us know who it is. We'll have a gift card ready for them. We would love to let you promote us. Partnering, not being scared to ask people, and I would offer to pay for it myself because I had no problem, getting involved in the community. That's another thing that Ollie taught me was get involved with the community. So I started doing this on social media, and, people like buying from somebody that's real. They love seeing pictures of me with my kids. I've got 6 kids. They love seeing me, with my kids, doing stuff with my kids, playing Frisbee golf or whatever we're doing. They love that stuff because why? I'm real. They know that I'm real. I've got a family. They know that I care for my family. I care for my country. They know that I'm patriotic. They know that I believe in God. They know different things about me. And it's cool because they get to see me live that out, but they also, get to see me on social media, see me selling cars and seeing a lot of people buy cars from me. And so I have established myself as the resident car expert in Tulsa. It doesn't matter if you want to come buy a car, sell a car. If you're going to go negotiate on a car in Arkansas, man, I got people that call me to help them, and I do. I help them. I had a girl that bought a vehicle from me, and then she wanted to Telluride in Arkansas, and so she said, hey, I'm going to Arkansas. Can you help me? Heck yeah, I can help you. Why? Because that's what I do. I'm here to help my people because she's always going to remember you took time out of your busy day to tell me what was fair, what I should do, what I need to do, what I need to look for, what I need to bring, and it helped me. So, start on social media, establish a brand. My brand came from, seeing review after review after review of people say, man, he was the nicest guy I've ever met. He's the nicest guy in the car biz. I've never met somebody that was so nice. They kept saying that. And one of my buddies goes, dude, you really are the nicest guy in the car business. You're not the typical car guy. I said, well, that's what I strive for. That's what I strive for. So then it just hit. And I realized people don't remember my first name. My first name is Jordan. People call me Jacob, Josh, Justin, whatever. Nobody remembers Jordan, but they always remember Savage, which is my last name. So I just branded myself Savage, hashtag the nicest guy in the car biz. and people always may come in Savage. I'm here to see Savage. I'm here to see Savage. I'm here to see a nice guy in the car biz, you know. And then once you establish that, now I've gone a little bit longer than you asked me for, Ron, but once you get that established, get that going, then I take it to a whole nother level, and I'll do Facebook Lives on customers' phones. You know, why? Because not only do I get to expose myself to all of their friends that I've never met, but you'd be surprised how many people I started getting off of there. I get 4 or 5 leads just off of a post where I'd say, hey, could you do me a favor? I know we had a great time. We had a lot of laughs. You can say no if you don't want to, but can we go Facebook Live on your Facebook? They're like, well, I've never done it before. Well, I will do everything for you if you'll sign in and let me take control. I promise you, it's gonna be awesome, you know. And it's cool.
And as you see an example there, we got Jordan with a customer talking about her great experience. That's wonderful, man. You know, it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
I've gotten to a point where, I've gotten to a point where I'll actually have, like, I've got a customer of mine that has sent me 9 people to buy cars for me.
Wow.
Her and her husband have never bought a car from me. They just saw my stuff on social media and said, that is the coolest guy I've ever met. We need to send our friends and family to him. So they sent me 9 people. They actually drive Jeeps, and I don't sell like brand new Jeeps. And so, but she got into the real estate business, and she said, can you help me? I said, come on up to the dealership. Let's do a Facebook Live. I did a Facebook Live for her, and I had 4 or 5 of my friends on Facebook hit her up for business. So when you start giving back and you start helping others be successful, using your platform that I've built to help others be successful, man, there's nothing greater than that. So, man, if you can, new salespeople, if you can get on social media, be consistent with it, put real content that's valuable to the viewer. Like I said, forget about the cars. Who cares about the cars you're selling? Sell yourself. At the end of the day, that's what they're going to come in and buy.
Exactly.
And I promise you, it's going to help you get to that next level.
Wow. Well, Jordan, we're at the 1 hour mark. I really appreciate you being on tonight. I know you have to get home to your family, and it was a pleasure. Thank you for being on. If anybody wanted to touch base with you and reach out to you, how can they contact you?
They can contact me on social media, Jordan Savage, # the nicest guy in the car biz. You can Google me. You can message me. I'll even throw my phone number out there because I'm one of those guys. I don't care. You know, I'm all about helping people. My phone number is 918-607-6310. Shoot me a text. Make sure you don't be creepy about it and be like, hey, how do I do this? Like, actually introduce yourself if I've never met you or talked to you. Say, hey man, I saw your show. Hey man, I really appreciate whatever. How can I do this? Can you help me with branding? I have salespeople that reach out to me all the time, asking for help with branding, help with advice on stuff. You know, and I'd be more than happy to help you. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help salespeople be the best versions of themselves, and I love it. I love it. So I'm never too busy for people.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard from the nicest car guy in the car biz, Jordan Savage at Jackie Cooper Nissan in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, if you're looking for a car, go ahead. If you're watching the show and you're not in the car business and you're needing a new Nissan and you're around the Tulsa area, go see Jordan. He'll take care of you. Say, I'm here to talk to Savage, and he'll help you out there. But, Jordan, it's a pleasure having you on, sir. Thank you very much. And we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right. Bye.